Hi, I am Renda Dunwood, and I will be asking you a couple of questions here. I'll be interviewing you for our viewing audience in regards to your relationship with the Reverend Point Blank.
I created the Reverend Point Blank to be a factor of truth,
as well as your total background. Let's first of all speak of the men that raised you. I understand that your biological father raised you as well as your stepfather. Can you please elaborate on that?
Of course. My father was, he was raised in the South, so he was one of those 12-hour working men. When they went out at 6 in the morning, they never got back till 6 in the evening working the fields. Obviously, he wanted a change of pace. There was a change in generation. He moved to Chicago. He married my mother in the South. He was the father that came home. He provided for my mother. But then my father started, messing around with those young girls because they moved from Arkansas to Chicago, all the big city lights, all the, the whole South Side deal with the West Side deal and all of the blues and the jazz and that kind of thing. And he got caught up. So my mother caught him with a woman, and my mother decided she didn't want to be with him because she was raised in the South and that's how she felt. But she got caught up as well because she met this brother. My mama divorced him when I was like 10. She married this hustler player from Chi-Town.
Well, what kind of relationship did you have with Mr. T?
Well, the funny thing about that was I came home from school one day and he, this slick cat, he dealing with I got 2 older brothers now at this time and 1 baby brother. So he dealing with the 2 older brothers. He's like, hey, he got $100 on the table. So he says, okay, anybody can repeat after me. You can get this $100. No questions asked. So we already went through Andy, which is the one above myself. When I walked in, he was dealing with Ricky. He said, okay, Ricky, I'm going to say these words, and I need you to repeat them after me. He said, you ready? Because he'd already did it with Andy, so Ricky heard some of it. Then he said, you ready? My brother said, yeah, I'm ready. He said, if I tell you not to tell him, would you tell him what I told you? And I told you not to tell him, would you tell him, huh? Would you? My brother said, if I was going to tell, he said, nope, that's wrong, picked up his money. So then I looked at him and said, I can do it. And he said, oh, you can do it, huh? I said, yeah, I can do it. So I said, but you're going to need to get that money to my brother because I don't know you. And he smiled about it, but it was the truth. I didn't know him like that. We talk about money. And I knew that he was older than me and he could take this cash from me. So I said, give it to my brother. So he gave it to me. You don't trust me? I said, I don't know you. So he gave it to my brother. He said, you ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready. He said, if I tell you not to tell me, would you tell me what I told you? I told you not to tell me, would you tell me, huh? Would you? I said, no, because if I told you not to tell him, would you tell him what I told you? And I told you not to tell him, would you tell him? Now I walked right over to get my money and he grabbed my shirt tail. I'm like, you ain't getting this money back. He said, no, I just want to know how you remember that. I said, man, I remember it because of what you said. I remembered it. I heard what you said and I remembered it. So recently after that, he took me with him to Jewtown. It was a place in Chicago at that time, back in the 70s, where we would buy 8-track tapes and LPs. They're extinct now, really. And the LPs had holes and they were cutouts. And it was copy stuff. Outside the cutout. So we bought them for $1 a piece. We sold them $3 a piece, 2 for $5, 3 for $7, 5 for $11. Many record stores we built in Chicago.
So this was a relationship you had with your stepfather.
My stepfather. And my brothers, they were all still trained by my father. So 3 of them went to military. I had a daughter who was a half-sister who, because my stepfather was a player. My mother called him, pulled a pistol on him one time by him being with another woman. She saw him. And I knew it the whole time. And I came to my mama and I said, Mama, are you happy? Because I didn't want to tell because I was close to him. And I knew the game. So I said, well, Mama, if you're happy, are you happy? And she said, yeah, I'm happy. So I didn't say anything. When she found out, she pulled a pistol. There ain't no bullets in it, but she pulled my stepfather went. That nigga, he was tripping. I mean, really, honestly, he came. He would blink like this real fast. He'd be blinking. You know he lying when he do this. He be blinking. Well, I just want to tell you, you know, I was. That's when you know he lying. See, because I know him.
Okay, well, what were you like? Tell me what it was like growing up with your stepfather, and how that relationship affected the relationship with your real father and your other brothers and sisters.